Yesterday, I was treating a patient for her UTI or urinary tract infection, and she asked me what were my thoughts on the use of cranberry juice in the treatment of UTIs. And I thought that was a really good question, so I wanted to answer it here. A urinary tract infection is an infection that can technically be on anywhere on the urinary tract. I'm going to get a photo, it's better to explain there. So urine is created by the kidneys, which then drains down the ureters into the bladder, which then drains urine out of the urethra, which is what you use to pee when you go to the bathroom. So a UTI or urinary tract infection can technically happen at any point in that urinary system, but most commonly it probably isolates to the bladder and the urethra, which is what causes the most symptoms initially. Now, urinary tract infections can be caused by many different bacteria and pathogens, but the most common cause is E. coli, and that's important because that relates to the topic of cranberry juice and the possible treatment of urinary tract infection. Now, E. coli is a bacteria that has these membrae, or these protein polymer-like projections that help it climb the walls of the urinary tract to enact an infection and cause symptoms. Now, in certain laboratory studies, cranberries, or the key chemicals found inside of cranberries, have been found to not allow E. coli to essentially use these membrae to move, therefore blocking infection. Now, unfortunately, laboratory studies don't always transfer to real life, as in larger studies, the use of cranberry juice wasn't found to be an effective tool to treat urinary tract infection. It's probably because just drinking cranberry juice probably doesn't translate to you excreting those important chemicals that are effective in the laboratory setting. So if you have a symptomatic urinary tract infection, and the reason why I say symptomatic is because I believe that many of us probably have UTIs throughout our lives, and we just don't have enough symptoms or symptoms at all to bring us to the emergency room. But if you're coming into the ER with symptoms of a urinary tract infection, I'd recommend getting a sample of your urine to make sure that we know exactly what is the cause and treating it appropriately with antibiotics or antifungals, whatever it may be the cause of that urinary tract infection, to prevent the complications, which can include pyelonephritis, or an infection of the kidney that can lead to sepsis. And in older patients, it can also very commonly lead to altered mental status or confusion. But the data is mixed on the use of cranberry juice in the prevention of UTIs. The only recommendation I'd have is that if you're going to use that as a supplement in your normal diet, to avoid the high sugar content cranberry juice. Unfortunately, it's probably most beneficial to drink, if you're going to use it at all, the bitter cranberry juice. All right, that's my medical minute on urine, cranberry juice, and UTIs.